Hey, it's the banker, and today I wanted to talk about whether you should buy penny stocks or not, and also recap today's market action. Um, I know a lot of people think when they're looking for strategies to choose, one of them they're going to come across is whether they should get involved with penny stocks or not. Penny stocks are real cheap stocks. Um, O'Neill in his CanSlim theories, he advises against buying penny stocks. He says they're cheap for a reason because they're not very good, um, and that you should stay away from them. The other main thing about penny stocks is that in order to get a really huge drive up in price, you need a lot of demand for the stock, and that demand doesn't really come from investors like you and me. It comes from the big institutional investors that have tons of money to invest. And when they start putting money in a stock, it just creates so much demand it forces the price up. Where with penny stocks, they're institutional investors in most cases aren't allowed to invest in those stocks, so that leaves the demand to come from people like you and me, and there's just not enough buyers. And typically, the only time you find a lot of demand is maybe if somebody's manipulating the stock, and I don't have any evidence of it. But what you'll find is that you'll start to find advertisements, notices about how this new stock is great for whatever reason. And really, what they're doing, they're advertising the stock so that they can find buyers because they've already bought into it and pushed the price up, and they need to get out of it. And what you'll typically find is when you buy a penny stock like that, what'll happen is that it will go down after you buy it because they're exiting, and then once they're gone and it's just you, there's no money left to buy the stock from anybody. And that's why your price falls, because it's just supply and demand. Now, today's action, if you're going to buy penny stocks, what you want to try and do is make sure you buy when the market's in an uptrend. Any stock you buy is going to be subject to the whims of the market. It's easier to buy when you're going downstream and going with the current as opposed to going against it. And the indexes today, if we just want to have a look at one of these charts here, I thought I'd go through. I got these charts from stockcharts.com. Typically, I like to use investors.com, and you um, can get the index information for free, even if you're not a subscriber, and I recommend you check that out. But I wanted to kind of talk about these stock charts. This red and black lines here are the open high, low, close for these indexes. Like this is the S&P 500 stockcharts.com. It's SPX. You can see if you look closely that the market closed higher today, volume was less. So since volume was less, it wasn't a distribution day. And right now, since the market's in a confirmed uptrend, that's what we like to see. We don't want to see the market under a lot of pressure as far as a decline in the index and a high amount of volume. Each of the indexes today, with the exception of um, the NASDAQ, it went up in price and also was higher in volume. Now, the volume numbers down here at the bar, you can see they're in bar charts. These volume numbers don't necessarily match up with investors.com. So I like to use investors.com for my volume numbers because I'm following O'Neill's strategy and he publishes that paper. I put a lot more faith in his numbers than I do in other charts. And because there's a difference, I'm going to err on the side of following um, his numbers. But whatever you do, if you're going to use another source, the best advice I can give is that you just use the same source every time instead of changing from one source of information to another. So if you're going to use stock charts, use it all the time. If you're going to use investors.com, use it all the time. And as far as the market data, I just use investors.com. It's free. Um, and then each day go through these, um, um, analyze the market, these indexes, and see what happened, and then record what you find. Yesterday's post, I talked about keeping track of what you're doing, and I created a spreadsheet, and I've updated that. And if you look down here at the bottom of this post, you can see the spreadsheet I set up, and I've updated it for today. Now this spreadsheet's available. You can always access it because it's publicly viewable. And so here I'm keeping track. You can see that the same The distribution days did not change from yesterday to today, so the market didn't change, although I got the sense from reading the big picture column and from listening to IBD-TV that um, the market's really, um, you know, it doesn't show signs of being a strong uptrend. That being said, when you go through the indexes each day, decide what you think happened by following the rules of determining whether it's in a distribution day or not, and then go to investors.com and confirm your analysis. The goal here is to make sure that you can go through and analyze the market without the investors.com, and you're only going to learn that from experience of looking at it first and then confirming it with them. The other thing I did was go through the stock market investing checklist to determine general market direction, and I went through that, and I think if any time you're trying to learn something, if you can break down the steps and try to do the same thing every time so you don't forget anything, I think you're going to be better off. So anyway, this is the Banker. I hope this video helps, and have a great day.